Now, Avinash, you would recall that the no confidence motion was passed in the National Assembly on December 21st, and it determined that national elections be held within 3 months and a new government take office. Immediately after the passage of the no confidence motion, the government accepted defeat and was ready to head into new general elections. However, new arguments arose. There was a question of whether 33 was really the majority in the National Assembly, and the government decided to move to the High Court to say that more than 33 is necessary for a majority in the 65-seat House. In addition, a resident of New Amsterdam, Compton Reed, approached the court saying that the vote of Charandas Prasad was invalid. You would remember that the vote of Charandas Prasad is what gave the opposition PPP the 33 votes they needed to pass the motion in the 65-seat House. He said that Mr. Charandas Prasad, because he was a resident of Canada and a resident of Guyana at the same time, he should not have been seated in the National Assembly in the first place, and so his vote was invalid. Given the arguments, the Attorney General also asked the court for a stay in the implementation of the December 21st motion, which is essentially for elections to be called in 3 months. And he also wanted a conservatory order for the government to remain in place until the matters are determined by the court. Today's hearing was just a management hearing in which the Chief Justice determined her timelines, and she determined that all submissions, including oral submissions, should be made before her by January 25th. And that will give her an additional 6 days before the end of the month, when she says she will determine all the matters in this case. In given that timeline, she said she was pushing ahead because she was cognizant of the national importance of this matter. She was aware that the nation was waiting, and she did not want to keep them waiting. And so, Avinash, all decisions in these cases will be determined by the Chief Justice by the end of January.
So the conservatory order at this time is not important because the final issue will be determined by the end of the month. So what are we conserving? 3 months haven't expired. Even at the date of ruling, the 3 months would not have expired pursuant to 106.
How happy I am that the court appreciates that these cases must be heard and determined with every convenient speed, and the court has adopted an approach that gives effect to that recognition. I believe that the timelines given by the court, the sentiments expressed by the court, the way the court dealt with certain applications that were made, all in my mind combined to inform me that the court has a sound appreciation that the constitutional clock of 90 days is ticking.
Now, it is more than likely, if the government loses this case, that it will head to the Court of Appeal, and then it will head to the Caribbean Court of Justice, Guyana's final appellate jurisdiction. Now, the attorney for the opposition leader, Mr. Anil Nandlal, says even if the matter reaches to the Caribbean Court of Justice, that will still be enough time within which to satisfy the constitutional requirement of a no-confidence motion, which is that elections be held within 3 months. That is left to be seen.